It all starts with a super wealthy businessman and his wife. But their perfect world shatters when 5 ruthless criminals kidnap their son. These aren't your average thugs. They're cold, calculated, and they want a huge ransom. The kidnappers contact the parents, demanding a massive pile of cash, setting up a rendezvous point. A moving train. 2 of the kidnappers manage to sneak aboard. The ringleader, a guy named Suktae, has a truly bizarre plan. He shoves the kidnapped boy, Yi, into a giant flower pot and carries it casually down the train car. But here's where things get even more twisted. Chong Ho, a dirty cop feeding info to the gang, gets a call. There are cops on the train. Turns out, the parents, behind the kidnappers' backs, alerted the police, who are now blending in, waiting for the perfect moment to strike during the exchange. Suktae is pissed. He can't believe the parents didn't value their son enough to pay the ransom. Another kidnapper, Su, pulls out a knife and grabs a random guy in a hat as a hostage. They manage to get off the train, and a cop sees his chance and jumps off after them, gun drawn, ordering the hostage to come to him. The hostage pulls out a knife and stabs the cop. Turns out, this random guy, Dong-byum, is another member of the gang. They regroup and head back to their hideout. To throw off the cops, they disguise their house as a plant nursery. Either way, it doesn't take long before their cover is blown. Now, Yi becomes a liability, a ticking time bomb. The kidnappers all start thinking, keeping this kid around is gonna bring us down. Su, ever the hothead, grabs a shotgun, ready to take care of the problem. But then Suktae, the boss, snaps. He shouts, "I'll decide." Got it? Everyone freezes. Kite, the softie of the group, desperately opens the flower pot. Poor Yi has been stuck in that thing for so long that he's passed out. The tough guys are clueless, so they drag Yongju, a woman cowering in the corner, and tell her to take care of the kid. Now, Yongju is a whole other level of messed up. She's got tangled hair, shackles on her ankles, and looks terrified. On paper, she's Suktae's wife, but in reality, she's a prisoner in her own home. So, who are these guys anyway? They call themselves Beck, and they are bad news. They make their weapons, rob banks, and kidnap people. They've been racking up crimes for years, but they are good. They leave no trace, and thanks to that dirty cop, Chong Ho, they've been living the high life. Fast forward 15 years. We're in a luxurious mansion, and a corrupt prosecutor is getting a full-body massage from a blind masseuse. He asks the masseuse if he's always been blind. The guy says he can see close things. Suddenly, the masseuse's super-sensitive hearing picks up the sound of a lock being picked. The prosecutor checks his security camera, but sees nothing. That's when Suktae and 3 of his crew, masked and armed, burst in. They force the prosecutor to open his safe, filled with all the dirty money he's been taking as bribes. The prosecutor, thinking fast, gives them a thumbs up with his left hand, then walks to the safe. He grabs a nearby taser, saying they can leave now since he didn't see their faces. In a power move, Suktae rips off his mask and asks the prosecutor, "See me now?" Su wastes no time, shooting the prosecutor dead. Suktae walks up to the trembling blind masseuse. Figuring the man genuinely can't see anything, Suktae decides to let him live, warning him to keep his mouth shut if the cops come asking questions. The gang grabs the loot and heads out. But no sooner do they get out the door than police sirens start blaring. They manage to lose the cops at an intersection. The police are stumped, not knowing which way the robbers went. Then, a young man standing on a nearby side street catches their attention. It's Yi all grown up. He directs them down a small road. The police realize the robbers must have gone that way and take off in pursuit. So Yi just pulled off an insane distraction for the cops. He's a smart kid, but he's living a seriously weird life. To keep him hidden, Yi has never been to school. He's stuck living at the plant nursery with his 5 dads and Yongju, who's basically his surrogate mom. Each of his dads is training him in a different deadly skill. Su teaches him how to shoot. Dong-byum, knife dad, teaches him how to handle blades. Kite teaches him how to drive like a getaway driver in a movie. And Jin-sung helps him plan his future, which is ironic, given their lifestyle. Yongju gives him the motherly love he desperately needs. But there's one different dad, Suktae. He's always cold and distant, rarely praising Yi. He is the scariest. One day, Yi is walking home and sees a girl named Yu Kyung struggling with her broken bike. Being the decent human being he is, Yi helps her fix it. Yu Kyung notices his school uniform and asks what school he goes to. Yi freezes. He has no idea how to answer because Yangju makes all his uniforms for him. Before they part ways, Wai nervously tells him her name. Meanwhile, back at the house, the dads are counting the cash they stole from the corrupt prosecutor. When Jin Song finds out that Suk-tae left a witness alive, he goes ballistic. Why didn't he stick to the plan? Why did he have to act on impulse? Jin Song doesn't trust Suk-tae's judgment. Then there is Suk-tae yelling at Jin Song, asking, "So that's what you wanted, right?" Sounds like there's more to their plan than meets the eye. As Wai approaches the house, he hears a familiar voice, a monster that only he can see. This thing has been haunting him for years, a constant shadow. Terrified, Wai rushes inside, politely greeting each of his dads. Then, he sneaks into the kitchen to give Yangju some tangerines. Yangju, touched by Wai's concern, is happy to chat with him. She is really trying to be a good mother to him. Before dinner, the dads take Wai out to the woods for target practice. They hang a wild boar's head from a tree. Wai expertly loads his gun and fires, hitting the target every time. Everyone praises Wai except Suk-tae, of course, who remains silent. But this time, he surprises everyone by patting Wai on the shoulder and telling him to go eat dinner. It's the most affection he's ever shown him. Inside the house, Jin Song is on the phone with Chong Ho, the dirty cop. Chong Ho is furious that Suk-tae let the blind masseuse live. It's going to cause problems for everyone. Chong Ho suggests that in the future, they cut Suk-tae out of the planning and let Jin Song take charge. Just then, Wai walks in. Jin Song quickly hangs up and pulls out a passport, handing it to Wai. He tells him the basics, saying he's got everything ready for him. Once he's there, he'll have to take care of himself for a while. Jin Song has always wanted Wai to have a better life, not a life of crime. He wants him to go to school, get an education, and live a normal life. That's why he secretly arranged for him to study abroad. But then, Suk-tae walks in, sees the passport, and explodes trying to stop him. All these years, he's been training Wai not to send him away to study. Jin Song insists they can't let Wai's life go down this path. The two argue, unable to agree, and the conversation ends on a sour note. Drawing is Wai's secret passion. He loves to sit with his sketchbook, looking out the window and drawing whatever comes to mind. One day, he sees Yu Kyung playing with her friends across the street. This is the normal life Wai has always craved. He is so distracted that he almost gets hit by a car. The driver's yelling catches Yu Kyung's attention. She sees it's Wai, and the two sit down to chat. When Yu Kyung sees Wai's sketchbook, she's stunned. She had no idea he was such a talented artist. Yu Kyung remembers her self-portrait assignment for art class and asks Wai to help her finish it on Saturday. To thank him, she takes a picture of him. Yu Kyung asks for Wai's phone number and sends him the photo. Just then, Ki-tae walks out of a hotel across the street with two girls on his arms. Yu Kyung shakes her head, commenting that Ki-tae is definitely not a good guy. Ki-tae sees Wai and waves him over. Yu Kyung asks if they know each other. Wai reluctantly admits that Ki-tae is his dad. Seeing that Ki-tae, driving dad, is completely hammered, Wai is forced to get behind the wheel. On the way home, Ki-tae is giving Wai his best advice on how to pick up girls. Wai just wants to get this drunk mess home safely. Of course, that's when they run into a police checkpoint. Wai's in a school uniform. Getting caught would be a disaster. He makes a split-second decision. He floors it, blowing right past the cops. The cops, understandably, are not happy and immediately give chase. Wai swerves, sending the police car crashing into a pile of dirt. But those cops are persistent and keep on tailing them. Ki-tae spots an intersection ahead and tells Wai to take it. They finally manage to lose the cops. High-speed car chases? Just another day in the life of Wai. Meanwhile, back at the police station, the blind masseuse, the only witness to the prosecutor's murder, is being questioned. He's terrified of retaliation, so he insists he's completely blind and didn't see anything. He doesn't want to be involved. The police are about to drop the case, but a new detective, Choi, isn't buying it. He goes to see the masseuse holding a lighter up to his face. The masseuse flinches slightly, and Choi knows he's onto something. Choi tells the masseuse he can leave, but then drops a bomb. He's going to release a statement to the media saying that the masseuse can see and that he saw the faces of the killers. If those killers are Beck, they'll come for him. Choi's gamble works. Faced with certain death, the masseuse spills everything he knows. Chong Ho, the dirty cop, frantically informs Suk-tae. They can't let the masseuse live. Suktae sets up an ambush outside the police station, planning to eliminate the masseurs as soon as he walks out. The sniping job is assigned to Wai. But when the moment comes, Wai sees his monster again, that terrifying hallucination that has plagued him for years, and misses his shot. The masseuse is escorted into a waiting car. But Suktae has a backup plan. Chong-ho quietly kidnaps the masseuse, bringing him back to the plant nursery. Suktae is furious and drags Wai home with him. The other guys are none too happy about the situation. The masseuse doesn't last long. Suktae drags Wai to the house, interrogating him about why he didn't take the shot. Wai breaks down, crying and telling Suktae about the monster, the nightmare that haunts him. Suktae announces that he's going to help Wai get rid of the monster. Wai knows what that means. He's going to be locked in that dark, sunless room again. Ever since he was a kid, every time he mentioned the monster to Suktae, he'd be locked away. But this twisted form of therapy never works. The fear of the monster only grows stronger. Saturday arrives, and Wai goes to the meeting spot with Yu Kyung, but he hides behind a tree, too afraid to show himself. He watches as Yu Kyung leaves, disappointed. Wai knows they're from different worlds. She has no idea what his life is really like. Meanwhile, Chairman Jung of the Holy Land Group is busy with a new real estate project. But the initial land clearing phase is running into trouble. One family is refusing to move. Seeing that the land clearing is impossible because of the uncooperative couple, Chairman Jung decides to take care of them, telling Beck to get rid of these two people. This man is ruthless. This couple is Wai's biological parents, Hyung Taek and Seo Ja. Jin Song, worried that this job will hurt Wai, hesitates about taking it. But Suktae is determined to do it and wants Wai to carry out the hit himself. Wai has no idea who these people are. One rainy day, Kitae drops him off in front of the couple's house. The other dads are watching from a distance with binoculars. Wai expertly opens the gate. As he tries to open the front door, a patrol car drives by. The police officers in the car are familiar with the neighborhood and have never heard of this couple having a son. Those curious cops are getting closer to the truth and want to know why Wai is at the house, wearing a school uniform with a bunch of shady guys waiting outside. Panicked, Wai rushes into the house. It's eerily quiet. The couple doesn't seem to be home. Wai spots a picture of a young boy on the floor in the living room. The kid's face looks strangely familiar, almost like him. Compelled by some unknown force, Wai pockets the picture. He starts searching the house, room by room, but finds no one. Little does he know, Seo Ja, Wai's biological mother, is in the house. She heard the door open and, terrified, hid in the closet. Seo Ja frantically texts her husband, Hyung Taek, who's out at the store. Wai hears Seo Ja's phone ringing and slowly walks towards the closet. Just then, Suktae and Dong Byum, Knife Dad, arrive. Wai doesn't reveal Seo Ja's location. He is conflicted. Hyung Taek receives his wife's text and races home, running right into Suktae and his crew in the living room. Suktae grabs Hyung Taek, demanding to know where Seo Ja is. To protect his wife, Hyung Taek lies, saying she went to visit her family in the countryside. Suddenly, a noise outside the window catches their attention. Seo Ja has snuck out of the closet and is escaping. Seeing Wai standing motionless in the living room, Suktae knows he deliberately let Seo Ja go, but he can't get out of it. Seo Ja is on the run now. She is desperate. Luckily, a kind passerby helps Seo Ja, saving her. Suktae drags Wai, who's trembling, in front of Hyung Taek, shoves a gun into his hand, and orders him to kill Hyung Taek as punishment for his disobedience. Wai shakily fires a shot, missing completely. Suktae doesn't let up, continuing to order Wai to shoot. Hyung Taek, sensing something, suspects that Wai might be his son, but before he can finish the sentence, Wai unloads the entire gun into Hyung Taek. The room is stunned by Wai's reckless actions. Before the police arrive, Suktae pulls them out of the house. The patrol officer who had been at the house sees Wai leaving, making him a potential witness. Hearing the cops saying that the shooter was a student in uniform, Chong-ho, the dirty cop, immediately tries to discredit him, saying no student would ever shoot someone with a gun, trying to throw off the investigation. But then, Seo Ja, who barely escaped with her life, confirms the cop's story. She is so terrified that she collapses and has to be taken to the hospital. Wai brings the picture he found home. Yongju instantly recognizes it. It's Wai as a little boy. Even though Wai denies it, Yongju insists she's not mistaken. He looks exactly like the boy in the picture. Wai lies in bed, overwhelmed and unable to process what's happening. That night, Detective Choi sneaks back to the crime scene, hoping to find a new clue. But the house has been wiped clean by Suktae and his crew. Just as Choi is about to leave, he notices an umbrella by the door. It's a souvenir from a field trip. The killer must have left it behind. Choi tracks down the person in charge of the field trip. The woman is hesitant to cooperate. Choi, with his short temper, grabs the list of participants and decides to find each person himself. Chairman Jung is furious about the failed hit. He calls Suktae and his crew, ripping them a new one. He specifically calls out Wai, saying he won't forgive him for screwing up the operation. After hanging up, Suktae, fearing for Wai's safety, decides to move everyone out. But Wai is one step ahead of him. Early in the morning, he goes to Seo-ja's house. He is desperate for answers. As soon as he arrives, he hears a noise outside. Wai quickly climbs upstairs and hides. The person who comes in is Seo-ja, still in her hospital gown. Wai closes the door to the room he is in, realizing it's a child's room. It's filled with toys, and there's a stack of missing person flyers piled up next to them. Seeing the familiar picture on the flyer, long-lost memories flood back to Wai. He finally remembers his identity and understands who he is. He runs downstairs, wanting to find his mother, but finds Seo-ja struggling to walk out of the house by herself. She needs to be in a hospital. Wai quickly helps her and takes her to the hospital. Chang-ho finds Suktae. This situation has become incredibly dangerous. Seo-ja saw Wai's face. It's only a matter of time before she remembers. If the cops dig deep enough, everyone is going down. He urges Suktae to kill Wai to prevent further trouble. But Suktae argues that Seo-ja saw the kid, so they should have taken care of Seo-ja instead. Meanwhile, Detective Choi, pretending to be a buyer, shows up at Suktae's plant nursery. Jin-sung, who's at the nursery, warmly greets him. But Jin-sung is sharp. He quickly realizes who Choi really is. Jin-sung calls Suktae, and they discuss the possibility of sending Wai away again. Suktae finally agrees to think about it. But as soon as he hangs up, Wai walks in. He's been listening the whole time. Wai points a gun at Jin-sung, demanding to know who he really is and why he was targeted as a child. Jin-sung tries to use their bond to manipulate him. Wai fires back, asking Jin-sung if he knows why his parents refused to move. It was because they were waiting and hoping that one day Wai would come home. With a gunshot, Wai ends Jin-sung's life. Chairman Jung is obsessed with eliminating Seo-ja. He sends an assassin to the hospital to finish the job. But Chang-ho stops the assassin. He's under surveillance now, and if anything happens to Seo-ja, he'll be implicated. The assassin grabs Chang-ho's gun and shoves it into his mouth. After a few warning shots into the air, Chang-ho's resistance crumbles. The assassin poses as a patient and sneaks into Seo-ja's hospital room. Just as he's injecting poison into Seo-ja's forebag, Wai bursts in. He saw him coming. The assassin pulls out a dagger, and a brutal fight breaks out. Despite being stabbed, Wai fights desperately to protect Seo-ja. Finally, he manages to grab the dagger, stabbing the assassin in the neck. He pushes him out the window. Taking advantage of the chaos, Wai gets Seo-ja out of the hospital. Fearing that he's been exposed, Wai contacts Yu-kyung and asks her to help him get Seo-ja into a nursing home. Looking at his comatose mother and remembering his father's tragic death, Wai decides to take revenge on the men who destroyed his life. He sneaks back to the plant nursery. Only Beom-soo, gun dad, is home. The two men point guns at each other. Despite Wai's best efforts, he's no match for Beom-soo's skill. He quickly finds himself at a disadvantage. Wai doesn't fight back. He promises Beom-soo that he'll take care of everything, that he'll kill Chairman Jung and his men. Just then, they hear a car pulling up outside. The other dads are home. Wai takes advantage of Beom-soo's distraction and lunges for a box of guns. He smashes the window and escapes to his car. The men rush downstairs and give chase. Beom-soo is firing at Wai's tires. Kitae, unable to bring himself to hurt Wai, tries to stop him. Suktae remains silent in the passenger seat. The two cars race through the dark city streets. Wai doesn't give Kitae a chance to catch up. He leads Kitae to a dangerous stretch of road known for accidents. Wai suddenly flashes his high beams. In that moment of distraction, a metal rod pierces through Kitae's car. Dongbyun assumes that Ye deliberately tried to kill them. Ye finds an abandoned factory and calls Suktae. He tells them to meet him there tomorrow. After hanging up, Ye sees the monstrous hallucination again. But this time, he's finally able to face it. The next day, Chairman Jung receives a mysterious letter. It contains the address of a factory and a phone number. He calls the assassin and tells him that he won't tolerate enemies. The assassin gets the message and takes his men to the factory. Meanwhile, the men also arrive at the factory on time. To be cautious, Suktae has Kite stay outside. As soon as the men enter the factory, they're surrounded by Chairman Jung's assassins. The assassin, following his instructions, says that he has brought 5 times the amount of cash and tells them to hand over Seojia to him. The men are confused, but then he gets agitated. They must be playing games with him. The assassin assumes they're playing games and calls the number on the letter. A phone starts ringing in the corner of the factory. The assassins are even more convinced that the person who sent the letter is an accomplice of Suktae. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out, blowing off the hand of one of the assassins. Since no one knows who fired the shot, everyone believes they've walked into a trap. Chaos erupts. While the two groups are fighting, a mysterious sniper positioned outside the factory opens fire. The entire factory becomes a bloodbath. Amid the crossfire, both sides take shots at targets outside the factory. Kite, driving dad, hears the gunfire inside and notices bullets coming from the tower across from the factory. He decides to take out the shooter first. When he finally reaches the top of the tower, he is shocked to discover that the shooter is Ye. He set this whole thing up. Ye has orchestrated the massacre between the two groups, planning to eliminate them all at once. Ye has been shot in the side, but he's determined to finish the job. The men finally wipe out Chairman Jung's assassins, but only Suktae survives. Just then, the assassin's phone rings. The caller on the other end says that they found Kim Seojia and urges the assassin to come quickly. But when the caller identifies himself as Suktae, the assassin knows he's done for. Suktae ends the call, throws the phone, and walks out of the factory. Ye hesitates, unsure whether to shoot. Kite quickly stops him and grabs the gun from his hand. Ye fights back, pushing Kite against the tower railing. Ye is agitated and continues pushing Kite, accidentally breaking the railing. In his last moments, Kite grabs onto the rope attached to Ye's gun. He stutters, saying to Ye, "I'm sorry." Suktae doesn't rush to settle things with Ye. He shoots and blows up all the cars parked in the yard. Then, he drives off in his truck to find Chong-ho, the dirty cop. Yu-kyung calls Ye, begging for help. Chong-ho has found Seoja's nursing home and is coming for her. Ye snaps, stealing a car and racing towards the nursing home. Unfortunately, Chong-ho finds Yu-kyung hiding in the bathroom and shoves her into his car. Thankfully, Suktae arrives in time. He stares Chong-ho in the eye. Chong-ho, gripping his gun tightly, doesn't dare make a move. Suktae goes to Seoja's hospital room. Seojia, still in a coma, seems to sense something and suddenly wakes up. Suktae washes the blood off his face and sits down by Seoja's bedside. He starts telling her about Ye's life and how he grew up. He tells her what a healthy and smart boy he is. Seojia is astonished that her son is alive. Suktae says that Ye has always been a little sickly. He is always seeing things, just like Suktae himself. The 5 men and Yangju grew up together in an orphanage, and the monster Ye talked about has haunted Suktae since he was a child. Seojia is stunned by the story. Hyung-taek was the son of the orphanage director. When he learned about Suktae's fear, he comforted him, telling him to pray whenever he saw the monster. Even though Suktae followed his advice, the monster would still appear from time to time. Eventually, Suktae fell in love with Yangju, but Yangju loved Hyung-taek. One night, Suktae raped her in a storage room in the orphanage. Hyung-taek kicked down the storage room door and was rushing in when Suktae used a pickaxe and severed Hyung-taek's left leg. Hyung-taek, the kind man, didn't hold Suktae accountable. He felt that Suktae was the way he was because of the monster inside him. He seriously helped Suktae pray. After that day, the monster Suktae was no longer seen. Listening to this, Seojia starts crying in despair. Suktae goes to the window. Ye has staggered downstairs. "I have to become the monster so that the monster will disappear." As Ye reaches Seoja's hospital room door, Suktae shoots Seojia. Ye breaks down completely. Seojia is gone. At the same time, Choi has uncovered the connection between the plant nursery and Ye. Choi, determined to bring these criminals to justice, tracks down Yongju and demands to know the truth. After hearing everything, Choi prepares to arrest the gang. But Yongju, fearing for Wai's safety, grabs a rock and knocks Choi unconscious. She drags him down to the basement. When Wai gets home, Suktae is waiting for him. Wai points a gun at Suktae, angrily asking him why he treated him like this. Why all the violence? Suktae calmly responds, "We are all monsters, Wai. You have to become a monster too. Isn't that right? That's the only way we can live together." Wai feels a surge of irony. How can he live with the man who killed his parents? It's impossible. Suktae smirks, reminding him that he hasn't seen the monster in a while. Suddenly, Choi crawls out of the basement, pointing his gun at the two of them, urging Wai to drop his weapon. During the standoff, Choi shoots Wai in the arm. Suktae immediately shoots him in the head, killing him. Seeing Wai pick up his gun, Suktae points his own gun at him, forcing Wai to shoot him. Suktae is convinced that only by becoming even more ruthless than the monster can Wai defeat it. Seeing that Wai won't pull the trigger, Suktae shoots Yongju in the leg. Wai still can't bring himself to shoot. He drops to his knees in front of Suktae, begging him to spare Yongju. Suktae pulls Wai up, hugging him tightly. "You're all I need," he says. A gunshot rings out. Suktae looks down in disbelief at Wai's gun. The person he loved the most has finally betrayed him. He uses the last of his strength to raise his gun, but finally lets it fall. This is it. It's over. In the classroom, her classmates give Yu-kyung a beautifully wrapped gift. Inside is her self-portrait. It was Wai's final message. "Where is that boy? He is at the stadium." Yu-kyung can't wait any longer and runs to the window. At the stadium, the groundbreaking ceremony for the real estate project is taking place. Chairman Jung is standing in the middle of the stage. This prosperous world is finally as he wanted it to be. There is fanfare and excitement for the project. Amid the celebration, a bullet pierces Chairman Jung's forehead. The deed has been done. Wai disassembles his sniper rifle and disappears into the crowd. Movie ends. Thanks for watching.